What up, guys? The Bench Buddies are back, and today I'll be doing the NBA Power Rankings. Unfortunately, Brady is busy today. So, myself, Zach, I will be doing the all 30 teams Power Rankings. And I know that some games have already been played since the All-Star break, but records and, since our last ranking have been updated to the All-Star break. So, we will get right into it here. But before I describe this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We need to get to 100 subscribers. We'll be giving away an autographed item, so you make sure you don't want to miss out on that. So hit that subscribe button down below. So we'll start here with the Orlando Magic, worst team in NBA record-wise and honestly talent-wise. But Cole Anthony has been the lone bright spot of this team, and he's averaging I think a little over 20 a game, I believe. And I think the thing that they need to work on the most is just competing and trying to at least compete with some of these better teams. Because I went to that Magic game when they played the Hawks, and it was just a blowout after the first quarter. So if games trend to go like that, I think they might have to look in a new direction. 29th, we have the Houston Rockets, 1-11 going into the All-Star break. That's not good. Lost 10 out of the last 11. And Jalen Green, I mean, he's a great player we saw in the Rising Stars, but I'm just not too high on him. I think the hype's a little too big for him right now, and I think he could honestly be off-brand Russell Westbrook and kind of pads his own stats. But that's just my opinion. I know there's obviously people out there that are thinking differently. 28th, we got my Pistons. Cade Cunningham, easily Rookie of the Year after what he did at the Rising Stars event. Really took over, won MVP. And I think the Bagley trade is really going to pay off for them. I think he'll be a key piece next year as well, assuming they re-sign him. Gives him more versatility on the floor. But this young Pistons team will be fun to watch, I think, down the second half of the stretch. 27th, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder. Josh Giddey, coming into the year, a lot of people were questioning that pick, but now he's potential top 5 Rookie of the Year. Very competitive young team. And once again, got to mention the 9 million draft picks they have. Looking bright future for sure. And definitely trending in the right direction, even this year as well. I think if they can get to at least 25 wins, I think this year is a success for them. 26, we have the Indiana Pacers. And I think this is a team that, really failed as an organization for the last 2-3 years. Was supposed to be, a top 4 team every year. Disappointing there. And, Malcolm Brogdon, he's out, injury. Who knows how long that's going to, last. The Halliburton and Sabonis deal, I think it's a very questionable move. Getting Halliburton, bringing him in, and getting rid of Sabonis. But then again, I also understand why. Maybe trading, mix things up a little bit and go from there. But both of these teams, as you can see here at 25, don't really have much to lose right now. Kind of just going for, the next year and building on other pieces. And the Kings, they do have a better core, I think, than the Pacers. But in the Western Conference, it's going to be a lot tougher for them to win. So I understand why getting Sabonis is big, because it's always beneficial to have a versatile big man. But these 2 teams here, definitely a lot of work on. 24th, we got the Pelicans, and CJ McCollum is thriving, since he got traded here. But the team is 1-4 when he plays. But obviously it's a new system, everything, he's got to get used to it. But obviously he's still doing good. But I think the team has to get used to him being there. Speaking of the team, Zion Williamson, he just now reached out to his teammates just now, allegedly, like, hey, how you guys doing? Just kind of the basic good teammate stuff. But also the second foot surgery is a huge concern. And I think, Zion, it might be his last year here in the Pelicans. He could get dealt in the offseason, and definitely a name to throw around in the offseason. 23rd, we got the Spurs. And this team, I mean, kind of fitting right where we thought they would be. Nothing really too outstanding on this team. I think a play-in team at best. A lot of people had them this year. But surprisingly, they're top 10 in points per game, reboundings per game, and first in the league in assists per game. So obviously that shows that their defense is not good at all. But they do have an upcoming 7-game homestand after the break. And, if they win 5 of those 7, I mean, hey, you never know the conversation. They could get right back into it. 22nd, we got the New York Knicks, and this team, big question mark. Last year could have been a fluke with Julius Randle's run. And it's starting to look like a lost season, especially now after they officially announced Kemba will be shut down for the rest of the year. But for all those young guys on the team, definitely a time for them to step up even more, because they know he won't be there. So they got a whole rest of the year to prove themselves. But I think the Knicks are going to be looking in free agency and especially the draft this year on what they can get. 21st, we got the Portland Trailblazers. And, breaking up Dame and McCollum has to be the first thing that we said. It's been, I think, 10 years since they've been together. Dame, he's loyal. He's going to stay a Blazer for life. But I think the pieces around him will get better now that McCollum is gone. I know that it's kind of hard to say early, but Anthony Simmons has dropped 30 in at least 3 straight games before the break. And that's a bright spot for this team. And, in the West, we've seen them be 7, 8 seeds, it seems like every year, even with McCollum and their whole team healthy. So they're really going to have to shake up the roster here if they want to be a better team. 20th, we got the Lakers. AD, made of glass. I think that's kind of the big problem here. And LeBron has to carry the team, obviously, yet again, but he's unhappy with how they've handled some things. Him and Rob Pelinka, the GM, aren't really on the same page here. And, could LeBron be dealt this offseason? I think will be the biggest question mark around this team. 19th, we got the Wizards, and they kind of went all out at the deadline, getting rid of Dinwiddie, Montrezl Harrell, Bertans, but they brought in Porzingis, which is an interesting piece. Bringing with Bradley Beal and Porzingis together, it's kind of like the Lucas Porzingis combo. But I think we're going to have to just really see how that pans out for them as they're looking to make a push here. 18th, we got the Charlotte Hornets. Brady and I were kind of high on this team early, but they've started to fade back down to reality here. 29-31, and they've lost 9 out of their last 10. And I think the reason for that fall is they're bottom 3 in defense this year. And, obviously they have some stars that can score, but when you guys can't play defense, it's kind of hard to win games. So that's why they're right around the middle here. 17th, we've got the Atlanta Hawks, and a very interesting team to look out for coming on the stretch run here. 28-30, a team that we saw really make a run last year as well, playing the Bucks in the conference finals and lost. And I still think they could honestly get there if they get the right matchups. Trey needs to play a little better than he's been playing. Bogdan off the bench has been a very good surprise for them. And, getting healthy, I think, is a big thing to make this team better. John Collins, who knows with that guy? I mean, he could be healthy or he could be hurt like literally every second of the day. It's just a big concern there, but I think this team can still make that stretch run. 16th, we got the Clippers, and I got to give it out to Ty Lue. He's coaching this team to a 500 record without Kawhi, Paul George, and Norman Powell, 3 huge scores for this team. And I really couldn't tell you who's still on this team except Zubac. I think he's still on this team. The Clippers are quietly getting it done, and, the best team in LA this year. 15th, we got the Brooklyn Nets. The Ben Simmons debut is going to be, the big thing for the Nets. And Kyrie Irving, his home game situation, New York just announced that they might be releasing restrictions on the mask mandate, COVID vaccine stuff. So Kyrie might be able to play here coming in the upcoming weeks, every single week. But that's definitely something to look on. And I think the health of KD obviously will be huge down the stretch, but I think this team is in a better place than they were before when they had Harden. It seems like a lot of guys are happier and more willing to go out of their way. So Brooklyn Nets are a team on the uprise for sure. 14th, we got the Minnesota Timberwolves. They need to extend Pat Bev. I think that, he's been a big contributor to this team this year. And without him, they wouldn't be right here. But Anthony Edwards obviously having an outstanding season. Karl-Anthony Towns, best shooting big man, and D'Lo. I think everyone forgot about D'Lo, but he's putting up solid numbers here for the Timberwolves and keeping this team together. 13th, we got the Raptors, and I think this team is kind of an overreaction right now. I know that they're 7 games above 500, but if one of that starting fives gets hurt, they're kind of done for the count. They don't really have a bench. And if Fred VanVleet gets down, they're not going to make the playoffs 100% because he's really carrying this team on his back and really putting on for the 6. The Denver Nuggets coming in at 12th, and they've won 5 of their last 6 going into the break. And, honestly, could Jokic win MVP again? His game's not sexy by any means, but if you look at stats, then he's the real deal and should win MVP, I think, again. Coming in at 11th, we get the Boston Celtics. Won 11 of their last 13 going into the break, which is a huge run for them. They're middle of the league in points per game. So that must mean their defense is very competitive, or they love to play close games as well. But I think Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Schroeder, I think, is going to be the big piece moving forward. If he can play and, be the point guard we saw last year for the Lakers, I think that this Celtics team will be a really good team in the East. 10th, we got the Cleveland Cavs, and the biggest surprise team of the year, no doubt, sitting 8 games above 500 at the All-Star break. Had 2 All-Stars, Jared Allen, Darius Garland, and they didn't really play too much of the All-Star game, but they deserve to be there for sure. And I think moving forward, this team, I don't think they'll win their division because the Bucks are in it, but definitely probably a 4 or 5 seed in the East. Then we have the Utah Jazz, and I was gonna put them down a little more, maybe a little up. I mean, this team's kind of a question, like a small question mark here because of size, and obviously they have Rudy Gobert, but after that they have no size, and they win with that small ball lineup. Obviously, as you can see there, won 6 of their last 7 going in the All-Star break. And the big thing that intrigues me the most here about the Jazz is that their chemistry is on 100%. It's complete. Like, they know each other so well that's why this team is so good. 8th, we got the Dallas Mavs, and I think this is the year that they could really make a run at it, because I think getting rid of Porzingis was the best thing they could have done. Luka speaks for himself. I mean, as you can see right there at the bottom of the screen, I don't know. I think this team is an interesting team that not too many people are talking about. I think everyone's talking about Doncic, but not the team. And I think moving forward, that's going to be the team to look out for in the West, the surprise team at least. 7th, we got the Milwaukee Bucks. And let's see, we got Giannis here, obviously putting up Giannis-like numbers, insane numbers. But Chris Middleton will be the key piece for this Bucks team if they want to go back-to-back. And we can see them really make a push for that 1 seed in the East. 6th, we got the Philadelphia 76ers, and tonight will be James Harden's debut. It is Friday, February 25th when you're seeing this video, and you're going to be looking to build some new chemistry as well with Harden. Not really sure how it's going to work, but it's probably better than any Ben Simmons thing related. I know Philly fans are ruthless, and they're just glad he's gone. So bringing in Harden was a great move. 5th, we got the Miami Heat. They've won 6 out of their last 7 going in the break. And Kyle Lowry was the missing piece. That's what it should say. And, without him, this Heat team, we saw him make the bubble run. But last year was kind of a iffy season for him. And I think they're right back on track to make that run again. Probably going to be a top 3 seed in the East if they keep playing this way. And Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, the whole squad, Bam, Kyle, Duncan. It seems like they all got it going just like they did in that bubble run. So I think this is my team to get to the finals right now in the East. But my second team would be these Bulls. I think coming in the year, no one really saw them would be this good. I think we knew they would be good, but not this good. And once they get Levine back, I think he played last night, I believe, because he's playing the All-Star game. And Lonzo should be coming back soon as well, so they should be up to full strength. But they do have one of the toughest schedules in the league left this year. But, they're well above 500 in the East. The East is easier, obviously, than the West, and they should be fine. 3rd, we got the Golden State Warriors, and it may be a little bit of an overreaction, but is the dynasty back? With Clay and Curry this year, Draymond still out, but they've lost 4 of their last 5 going in the break, so kind of a sour taste in their mouth there. But I think Jordan Poole is going to be the key name this offseason to look out for. He's going to be wanting a lot of money. He's a big piece to that Warriors offense. And honestly, I think they should pay him, to keep Steph happy, keep all the shooters happy out there in Golden State. At 2, we got the Memphis Grizzlies, a young team, very exciting team, exceeding any expectations they had this year. 12-2 without Ja. And you can thank Tyus Jones for that, the best backup point guard in the league right now. You heard it from me here. And we see all his teammates saying the same thing. But number 2, you got to give the Grizzlies props here. And at 1, we got the Phoenix Suns. And the only thing that's concerning here about this team is CP3 being out 6 to 8 weeks, which pretty much ends his regular season. But he should be back by the playoffs. And I think if that happens, there's no worry here. They may slide a seed or 2 just because of how competitive that West is and, losing one of their key pieces. But I think they'll be fine for the playoffs, and they still deserve to be here. There's no team, that clear-cut team that should be at number one. But that's going to be it for the power rankings video today. If you liked it, make sure you hit that like button, comment below if you think you have a different opinion than me today. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you're entered into our contest. But next time, you got to tune in to be here for the next one. But thanks for watching. The Bench Buddies are out.
She never called back.